Chasing scores higher, higher, higher. Pixel warriors on a glowing screen, 8-bit heroes in a crazy dream. Coins drop clinking like a metal song. Game over flash, but I'm still headstrong. Pixel warriors on a glowing screen, 8-bit heroes in a crazy dream. Coins drop clinking like a metal song. Game over flash, but I'm still headstrong. Push the button, hear the roar. Fight the battle, craving more. Game of legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. High scores flashing in the midnight glow. Synths and shred and set the tempo flow. Leather jackets and teased up hair. Living legends, we don't care. Electric haze on the battle floor. Digital ghosts knock at the door. One more life, it's do or die. Final level, reaching for the sky. Push the button, hear the roar. Fight the battle, craving more. Game of legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. High scores flashing in the midnight glow. Synths and shredding set the tempo flow. Leather jackets and teased up hair. Living legends, we don't care. Electric haze on a battle floor. Digital ghosts knock at the door. One more gun, one more life, trick hair. Push the button, hear the roar. Fight the battle, craving more. Game of legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. Electric haze on a battlefield. Digital ghosts knock at the door. One more life, it's do or die. Final level, reaching for the sky. From legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Vince McSham with you here. This is Game On. All right, well, if you're here, you saw the thumbnail, you know what we're all about, and that is to find out what we can find out so far about the 2K26 plan of attack. The main plan of attack is going to be to separate us from our money. We already know that, so no big surprise there. How bad are they going to try and do it? That's the question. Let's jump in. I've got some stuff available and other stuff that I'm just opening as we speak. Blaze sent us something as well. First thing I want to start with is the official page. So let's go ahead and jump over there. The show never stops. So you say. Pre-order now. So you ask. Show never stops in WWE 2K26, featuring the largest roster in franchise history with 400-plus superstars. We've been hearing about that for a little while now. Legends including The Rock, Triple H, John Cena, Rhea Ripley, Rey Fenix. Oh, Rey Fenix. Okay. That's nice. Rusev and Blake Monroe. Am I confusing my... Yeah, Rey Fenix is the one that's in AAA, correct? So that means we got some AAA stuff, which we kind of guess we would. Bring the pain with the brutal new match types like the I Quit, which is nice to have that back, I guess. Inferno match and dumpster match stack tables. That's official. Scattered thumbtacks. And take the fight into the crowd with upgraded combat mechanics that will bring the entire arena to its feet. Okay? All sounds good. All right? This is how they always started out. Then the game releases. Then rewrite history your way. Relive CM Punk's rise, rivalries, and rebellion in this year's showcase and step into a world where the voice of the voiceless never left. I kind of like that idea of booking, what could have been if he didn't go. Take full control of your WWE World in Universe mode. Yeah. With new promo types. Vague, but needed to happen. The ability to watch an entire show. Okay. And more. Well, that leaves a lot to be answered, but there's time. Unleash your creativity with community creations, now featuring 200 created superstars. Advanced body and face morphing. I would hope that that's improved at this point, because while it is not terrible, there are still, man, you go back to the old games and you could morph just the thighs, or like if you were going to make an Austin, what's his name there? Was in the TNA and then he moved over to AEW. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. He's got massive fucking thighs, but there is no way in this game currently to make him accurate. Ace Austin. That was the name I was trying to get in my head. So hopefully that's the thing where you can now create or you can morph the thighs separate from the calves, separate from the chest and the arms. We used to have that in the game back in the day, and they took it away from us. Maybe they're giving it back. We'll find out. New modes, new quests. It'll finally take your creations to cement your legacy. That's going to have to wait. Whether you're calling the shots in My GM, climbing the ranks in My Rise, or building your ultimate faction with intergender matchups in My Faction, this is your entrance, your moment, your era. What will you do with it? Yeah, well, what will you do to us is the bigger question. All right, so nothing else there. Now let's see. Go to pre-order. Monday Night War, Attitude Era, King of Kings, Standard Edition. All right, so Standard Edition. The Joe Hendry pack includes new playable superstar, Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry, My Faction, Evo card, My Superstar, Create a Story part, Joe Hendry t-shirt, yay. And the island, of course, is back. Joe Hendry spin? I'm not sure what the Joe Hendry spin is. The show never stops in 2K26 with the largest roster. Are we doing the same thing again here? CM Punk's Rise, blah, blah, blah. Pre-order bonus offer available through March 12th. The Joe Hendry pack is included with the King of Kings Attitude Era Monday Night Wars edition. Terms apply. So are we saying that Joe Hendry is a pre-order? Is that what I'm taking from this? To get the Joe Hendry back. Okay, yeah. So you will not have Joe Hendry. I will not have Joe Hendry. Okay. I agree to those terms. King of Kings, what does that offer us? So we still get the Joe Hendry pack, obviously. Superstar Mega Boost. You get 100,000 VC, which probably won't be enough to buy you shit, really, unless you're buying packs of cards. Although I did learn a little bit about how to spend VC in this year's game. So I don't know if you're going to get the 100,000 if you don't pre-order. I think you would if you still get the pack, one of the packages. We'll see. King of Kings pack. My Superstar Island Triple H Signature Taunt. You get playable superstar Stephanie McMahon. Well, God knows I want that in my roster. And playable superstar Triple H 98. Honestly, that don't matter to me too much. Attitude Era Edition. What do we got going on there? Playable superstar The Rock of 99, Kane of 98, China of 97, The Raw's War 98 Arena. Seriously, this is what you guys are charging all that extra money for? Stuff that we've already had? Stone Cold Steve Austin, My Faction card, Island Remote, Undertaker, thumb across the neck. Okay, that's that cutthroat signal, I'm guessing. That's underwhelming, to say the least. Okay, this ought to be a humdinger. What are we getting here with the Monday Night War edition? Shock me. Shawn Michaels DX, Macho Man Randy Savage 98, Rowdy Roddy Piper 98, WCW Thunder. Well, we've never had the Thunder Arena, I don't think. And DDP's Bang. Really? Okay, that happened. For $150. Well, we're going to have to now rely on the game itself. What y'all got going on with the game itself? What have you fixed? What have you not fixed? All right, let me check on... What was this? This came from my buddy Blaze. Let me see what he's got here. I haven't looked at it yet, though. There's the attitude error. This is kind of my favorite of the box arts, I'll say that. This is the one that I think looks nicest. And even that kind of sucks. So if that's what you wanted, but you wanted to spend the $150, which is what this one, right? So you'd end up having this box art, even though you might want this box art. Again, they should do what they've done in the past. Granted, it didn't happen often in the past. But put multiple box arts and let the player decide what they want to display. All right, let's go through and see what all this is saying here, though. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Rattlesnake, the Rock, People's Champ, My Faction, Evil Card. Same thing we just read. DX, Crotch Chop, blah, 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 blah. I got to tell you, first impressions are underwhelming, I think would be the safest way to put it. All right, next stop. Let's go check out status because he's definitely got some stuff up there. Let's see what he's got. First look at Finn Balor. He's got some stills. All right, let's take a look at the stills. I don't know. Does it look that much better? It does look good. I'm not going to say it doesn't. But I think we have high expectations this time around, considering it's current gen only. Oh, the shopping cart is going to be tied into the Booker T Stone Cold thing. And that's a different version of Booker T than we normally get, too. So that's kind of cool. And we'll be able to put our opponent in a shopping cart and shove him into shit. That'll be entertaining a little bit. I mean, how much are you going to use it, though? Why waste time? No, never mind that. What was that? Hold on, I should have read it first. First, look at the Creation Suite menu. That's pretty much identical. Nothing way out of the ordinary there. First look at Asuka and Kairi. It's hard to tell right now. I'm not seeing massive things about these visuals that look that much improved. First look at Trish. Her hair looks a little bit better. Not significantly improved upon, but better. Now the question is, do the physics matter? In other words, does the hair flow more naturally? That'd be one of those things I would expect to see an upgrade in. First look at the retro CM Punk. Looks pretty solid. Hair looks a little better. I wasn't a real fan of last year's retro hairstyle, or this year's technically. My girl Alexa Bliss. You better get her right. Mm. I mean, like when I'm looking at the ladder, it's kind of basic. I mean, they're very flat. It's like for where we're at now, and this is a zoomed in shot, no less. You should almost see the rivets and stuff. You know, it's a little bit more detail. That's just kind of very plain and doesn't look like graphics have been substantially upgraded. The Tribal Chief. I do like the face on this one. I like the way the lighting's hitting it, especially around the cheeks. It looks a little bit more detailed in this scenario here. Skin tone's not bad. The way the Ulafalo lays is pretty close. You know, that's another one of those things I want to see this year is if when you put a championship title on a wrestler, do things keep on clipping through it, clothing items and stuff like that. Also, if they're wearing a jacket, does it go under the jacket, only exposing the parts that may be, you know, like if the jacket's left open kind of thing? I'm doubting that, but having belts fit properly is a big deal. All right, here's a good close-up. So I'll say this. Looking at her hands in particular, I can't enlarge it right now. Okay. You can actually see like the crevices in the knuckles and stuff like that. Now, granted, in the actual gameplay, you'd never notice that. It'd be too damn small. But the idea is that when you blow these things up this large, you want to see that extra detail. And you have it in this case. I think she looks really good. Stephanie Vaquer. Well, with the red lighting, that's as good as that's going to get. Let's see, Mommy. Not bad. Same thing. The shadowing in the face is showing off a little bit. But again, I just don't see a significant improvement. Is there an improvement yet? Like, this looks really good. Breaker looks almost like it's the actual clip from the TV show. What have we got here? PC and console community creations are officially split. Oh, man. Well, there was rumors of that. That kind of sucks. But I also understand why, because those things lead to games crashing. The Island returns and makes its PC debut. The Island, which returns in 26, will make its PC debut this year. The story builds on the final chapter of 2K25 story. Roman Reigns is no longer the tribal chief of the Island of relevancy, and now there's a power vacuum among three factions competing for control. I could care less about any of that shit. This mode will also feature a scrapyard brawl. Wait a minute, let's go back a minute. Maybe I care a little bit. This mode will also feature a scrapyard brawl environment. Your characters will also look better than ever as you'll be able to use the new face photo importing feature. Face photo importing feature, a feature that was highly requested for last year's mode. Were you not able to import face textures in last year's? I don't even know. Maybe that's all it is. Not a big deal in that case. Despite the Island debuting on PC, it doesn't sound like the walls of community creations between consoles and PCs will improve this year. When I asked the team about this during the developer roundtable, Lionel Jenks of Visual Concepts didn't sound overly optimistic about the compatibility between consoles and PC returning, stating, "We're looking into it. Like, there's definitely some gotchas there. And this way, and the way that we are handling is just like, man, the hell is this guy speaking? Like, there's definitely some gotchas there. And the way that we're handling, like, just the PC versus the main SKUs, but yeah, it's something that we know the fans want, but man, this guy doesn't know how to speak properly. That's why. And that's why the game's all fucked up every year. We just got to do the due diligence on our end to make sure that whatever happens on the PC side, because it's so customizable doesn't ruin the rest of the SKUs because there's it may be actually the guy writing this that's fucked up because he's putting periods where they maybe should be commas, because there's some stuff that could potentially, we know, could just really mess up the people's experience. Okay. I can't even translate that. I fucking need like a 7-year-old to translate that shit. Take a look at Randy Orton. Again, that looks pretty good. I mean, the tattoos are on point and they look really like they're in flesh. Face looks pretty solid. Take a look at our audience in the background. Granted, they're a little blurred out. Trying to see if there's duplicates. They're always going to duplicate them, but I feel like they've been too closely together. Like they only did like 8 across and then duplicated it. I was hoping they'd get more like 30 to 40 across and then duplicate that, so it's not so obvious. But in this shot here, I actually don't notice a duplicate, so that's good. First look at Joe Hendry. Say his name, and he's a pain in the ass. Seth Rollins. What in the blue hell is happening here? Are we on a scaffold? Is this the warehouse? No, it doesn't look like the warehouse. What the fuck is this? That looks pretty tight. First look at Seth Rollins, Penta, updated Dominic Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio. I want to know what that's all about, though, man. That looks cool. What else we got? The inclusion of unique emotes for the island suggests that some moves, taunts might be locked behind the mode. No kidding. Oh, I had heard about this. Naomi's new character, and that does look good. And that's a tough one to pull off with all the tape and stuff everywhere. And they did do a good job. Too bad she'll be sitting this year out. Oh, we've got some additional information here. Let's see. In my faction, chemistry is the key. The collectible card battle mode is back. New intergender. I mean, there were some parts of my faction I wasn't against. I mean, I unlocked a lot of Persona cards just by doing a few challenges here and there and not spending any money. So for that, I'm cool with that. Players collect new card designs, boost their performance, blah, 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 blah. Okay. My Rise. New theme, increased replay value. Players define their My Superstars journey through 2 new division-based storylines. I still have to finish the 3rd one just to unlock everything in this game yet, but I got time. Where villainous or heroic decisions impact my players like never before. Now, I was on the impression that this is supposed to somewhat pick up from where the last one left off, and I kind of liked the storyline in My Rise this year. Players can now keep playing even after the main stories are complete, with more unlockable content and achievements to earn for increased replayability. Uh-oh. Rutro. That doesn't sound good. That sounds like they're hiding a lot of shit that we're going to have to unlock. My MGM. I just can't get into that. It's too much work for me. New intergender matches, 5, 6, and 8-man matches. We were thinking we might get 5-on-5s. Plus support for more match types than ever before. Vastly increased the number of possible matches and outcomes. More shows per season. Pose new management challenges and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So the 5-on-5 does not appear to be a thing. Ringside passes. What's this? DLC gets an upgrade with more post-launch content than ever before. The all-new Ringside Pass offers players additional incentive to play, earning XP across all game modes, excluding online lobbies. 60 free tiers and 40 premium tiers will be available to reward gameplay with players who can reach tier 40 of the Ringside Pass premium season, able to unlock superstars, cosmetics, customization items, VC, My Faction, and the island content, and more. Gonna need a little more explanation on what that really looks like. You get 60 free tiers with the Ringside Pass, and then 40 premium tiers will be available to reward gameplay with players who can reach tier 40 of Ringside Pass premium. We'll see. That doesn't sound all that good. Does he have any more details in it? New Ringside Pass to feature the most post-launch DLC content ever. We don't know what that really looks like. New universe creation wizard is also added with improved features. WWE Draft comes to 2K Sandbox mode, where players create their own universe and control match outcomes. Other new introductions include a new universe creation wizard. That could be interesting. Watch show mode. I kind of like that. That kind of fits into what I generally do anyway. Improve money in the bank cash-ins. That's a good thing. And additional promo types. Vague. But to the point that I was making recently, I hope that means some backstage promos. I hope that means some team promos. I don't want to get too excited with some of this information. It seems like we're heading in the right direction because they tend not to. Best in the world roster of 400. Boy, they're going to beat that number into the ground. Wait till we count how many we really get once you take all the duplicates out. Boasts a roster of 400 playable characters, the biggest in franchise history. Superstars from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, plus Legends and Hall of Famers. Massive roster features Cena, and all the names we know are going to be in there. There's no surprises in that group. Wait. Oh, I thought I saw Ric Flair. Charlotte Flair. Sorry. Jumping the gun. Randy Orton. New additions and returns include Rey Fenix, Rusev, and Blake Monroe. I definitely want to know more about the AAA roster that's going to be in there. The Island, new storyline and environment. I never did anything with the storyline there at all. I just couldn't care less. Choose one of 3 factions and battle for control over a revamped progression system. The new Scrapyard Brawl environment. Maybe that's what we were looking at. That was a Scrapyard Brawl, perhaps. And they now have superstar voiceovers, cutscenes, and dialogues. Okay, well, that'll make it a little bit more entertaining, at least, having the cutscenes. Increased creation slots. That's we're already aware of that. I don't know. Does it mention images? The best in class customization. Create a superstar. Save slots. Doubling existing count. In response to community demand. Yeah, they've only been demanding it for a decade. Thanks for getting around to it. Community Creations now features a double image capacity, 2,000 deeper body, and face morphing tools, and two-tone hair color blending, which is nice, giving players unprecedented freedom to craft the superstars, arenas, and other creations of their dreams. That has a lot of potential to it. I'll say that. There's a lot of potential. I like that CM Punk. The jacket look and all that with the Chicago colors on him. That might be my favorite Punk model. The hell? No. What the fuck did they do to Liv? What is this shit outfit? Come on, man. Yeah, she's got better gear than that. Oh, I can't believe that. That just made my stomach hurt a little bit. Fire! He's on fire! Flames look, I don't know, hard. It looks like more lava over here, but he may have just chokeslammed him or something. It may be bursting.
That's what she said.
Had to get one in there. The Attitude Era edition for him. Okay. I don't know if he's talking about that's what he's going to buy or that's the box art he likes. I mean, you could always print out your own, I suppose, and just stick it in there, but why should you have to? This is definitely the one that I like the most from an art standpoint. "2K26 cover is cool, but nothing beats how sick the 13 CM Punk cover was." Yeah, I might would go with 13 over 26 too, if that was the head-to-head comparison that we're talking about. Pre-order now. Yeah, I mean, even if I was going to, I still wouldn't do it. You know, there's not enough information. Just not doing it. Everything here is vague. I want rosters. There's so much more information that isn't out. And obviously, gameplay is essential. It's a lot of information, though. Let me check on the chat. I know you guys. I can't keep two screens open at the same time like that, though. Let's see. 2K26 debacle. I might still going to have 20 patches. Yeah, it'll have a bunch of patches. Don't you worry about that, Prime Time. You will not have to worry about not having patches to keep you entertained and busy.
Well, it's time. It's time. It's prime time.
Gotta love it. They be fancy writing their words. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're saying everything that sounds great. But we just know that's not what you're going to get. It never is with these guys. They always throw something at us that ends up being a broken piece of shit. Primetime going to wait it out till December. I don't know how long I'm waiting it out. I need to see what's what. And Joe Hendry really is not that big a deal to me. The thing that kind of sucks is the fact that the console players are no longer able to do community creations with the folks on PC means that while somebody's going to make a really good Joe Hendry that you could download, the likeliness of having the entrance probably won't be there. Although, I don't know, the entrance may still be in the game. It's just the character and the trons and the music. But all those things together is kind of his entrance. That's his thing, so. Yeah, I'm not overly impressed with anything I've seen so far. Not for the price tag, but there's more to come. So that's why I'm staying as positive as I possibly can. But all things considered, why should I have to even try to be positive anymore with this company? Jackson, how are you, buddy? Well, all right. So here's the thing. The improvements may be there. It may not just be in the photos that we saw, okay? So, number one, live video is different than photos, and this is also pictures that were taken, probably weeks ago, and they're still going to be, another month or so working on the game. So, it's not finalized. Every year, there are photos that come out that people flip out over. Like I did just seeing Liv right there. And I have to remind myself, it was like 3 or 4 years ago, there was a picture of Charlotte, and people like, oh my God. And then the game came out, and it looked just like her. Okay. So some of these photographs are not the finished product, and it wouldn't be fair to judge it based off of those alone. But when I'm talking about improvements, I'm talking about from an AI standpoint. I'm talking about from overall logic of the game. The thing I've always said is the day you can take the graphics and the playability of 2K and merge that with the logic of Fire Pro, you have the game of games in wrestling. Nothing will ever top that if somebody can do it. So now that we were going exclusively on current gen, I'm thinking maybe the AI is going, the manager won't undo the turnbuckle pad 25 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? These little improvements will go a long way if they take place. And those are my expectations. I want to see hot tags come back. There's a lot of stuff that we've had that was taken out that shouldn't have been taken out. They did confirm the title stand is at ringside. Okay. Where'd you hear that from? Because I didn't see it in any of the stuff that I just went through, but that's cool to know. And I assume by it being there, you could take the belt off and whack somebody with it. Otherwise, what's the damn point? I want to see actual gameplay, no crashes, and don't freezing. Well, listen, buddy, it's a video game, and it's made by 2K. It's going to crash. It's going to freeze. Now, the question is it going to be unplayable? I mean, I love Fallout 4. I freaking love that game. But, boy, does that bitch crash. Blowing smoke up people's butt, not telling him full truth. Well, again, if they told you that the thing, you go to a used car sales lot, the guy's not going to tell you that he had to put extra strong oil in there to quiet it down, and as soon as you do a regular oil change, it's going to start, banging around like there's gremlins in the engine. They ain't going to tell you that. You'll let you go home, drive it for a while, and find out for yourself, and that's exactly what 2K does each and every year. So if you expect anything different, Dustin the Grim, how are you, buddy? All I can say is thank you, God, for emulation for older games and the modding community that keeps games like No Mercy alive. Dude, I did that with my last computer, and I did have some fun with it. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot more work than I want to get into so far as downloading everything, getting it to play, and you have to load it in certain orders and stuff, and I'm just not that technically savvy. And I was bothering people, I think, too much to help me get it going. And then the minute I don't play it for like a week, I kind of forget, oh, yeah, how do you do this again? Or how do you, yeah, so, I'll leave that to people like you. But it does look good. A lot of them look good, and I've enjoyed watching other people play them. Primetime can't wait to hear the excuses from Brian Williams. You won't have to wait long, buddy. Jinx is an idiot. Tell me how you really feel. Don't hold back, okay? We're very open on this program. That was the scrapyard. Okay, it looked kind of like maybe it's not going to suck. I was hoping for a boneyard match too, but I'll take a scrapyard. Are you aware of the No Mercy Plus and Born to be Wired? A couple of No Mercy. I've heard of them. Yes, I have not partaken in them, and I don't know that I have seen video of isn't there a more recent version of these? Like in the last couple of months, somebody did a lot of updating. I might end up tooling around on YouTube later and trying to find some video of that. It wouldn't let me blow up the pictures because it was in X. I'd have to actually download the picture and then open it from there. But you can switch commentary? STS, talk to me, man. What does that mean? You can set which guys, or, I guess it's all guys pretty much, which guys call the matches for like SmackDown and Raw and all that. I mean, it doesn't affect me because I turn the commentary off, but it's still a cool feature. I can get behind that. Primetime, we always waste our money when we buy this game. That's just a foregone conclusion. Now we're just a matter of how much are we willing to waste. Yeah, Dustin, I know very little about that card game other than I'm not going to even look at it long enough to know. It's a money grab. I can tell by looking at it, and fuck them. I'm tired of them. SmackDown versus Raw 11 style weapon physics. You going to make me dig out my SmackDown versus Raw 11 to figure out what that looks like? What was different about the weapon physics in SmackDown versus Raw 11? We may be going on a road trip later and pulling out the SmackDown versus Raw 11. .400 characters, and well over 90% of them are garbage. Dustin, I want to, again, why I'm trying to give these guys a bone, I have no idea. They haven't earned it. They haven't. Maybe friggin' Blaze is rubbing off on me. Speaking of which, Blaze Radio's in the house. Just don't rub me. Again, out of the 400, there's going to be at least 5 Undertakers, 5 Triple H's, 5 John Cena's, 3 Austins, probably 3 or 4 Shawn Michael. I mean, so it's a very misleading number. Gameplay trailer tomorrow during the Rumble. Wolfman. That gives us another reason to look at it. The Rumble, is it a 1 or 2 day event? Please tell me it's a 1 day event. We need create a Tron. You can create a Tron, can't you? I've created Trons. Hunter Iggy's in the house. Welcome, buddy. Why don't I put the same characters like Triple H in one slot? And yeah, dude, I'd like that too. And then you just kind of scroll through which version of them you want to play. Now, in some cases, maybe the moveset's slightly different, I guess. But honestly, I would rather give up the moveset being exact and have just one slot. And they've done that in the past. Other games did that. I'm just buying 2 copies of the game this year, my man says. You got that kind of money, that's how you roll. Retro Randy Price. That's a wrestling name right there. And Fun with Cause. I will check that out. McCoy, you're always on my mind and in my heart. Rubs all over you. There you go. Now we're getting there. How do you feel about adding the ability to pick who is going to win in an AI versus AI match? Is that real? Don't fuck with me. I haven't heard that. Is that legit? That is a home run if that's legit. The only thing that makes that better is if I can pick how. I want to count out. I want to DQ. I think that's amazing if it's legit. Universe Creation Wizard. Watch show mode. Yeah, well, again, watch show mode is kind of what you and I do, right? So it would be nice just to plug it in and hit play. Dude, I mean, that's the only thing I can guess it is that you just sit back and watch the show. I've been saving my pennies over and over for the game each year. Now there are no more pennies. We all out of pennies here, folks. Thanks for coming. Yeah, control match outcome. I mean, what else could it possibly be? So, yeah, I mean, I think that as exciting as it sounds, then I think to myself, oh, this game's going to crash so much. It's going to be unplayable. We're going to get to a key part of our show, and all of a sudden the guy goes outside the ring to pick up a chair, and then, boop, you're back to your menu. But there's definitely some things here to get. I don't want to use the word excited because McCoy's in the room, and, just don't want to go there. There's some potential to be had. Again, tomorrow we'll see the video, apparently. That's going to be big. And then as weeks go by, more and more information will drip and drab out, kind of like a festering sore. And then we'll have to decide what are the real anticipations and expectations of a franchise that company, I should say, a publishing company, a developing company that has habitually underachieved, underperformed, and outright lied to their community before, during, and after sales of games. They're a company that goes completely dormant when things go wrong with the game. They don't give updates. They don't come out and talk to the people to say, we're sorry, this is where we're at, we are aware of the situation. They go catatonic, and people are just left wondering, when can I play the game again that I paid now $150 for? One of the biggest reasons, and I still stand by this, that it went to 150 is because of the fact that they're losing the last-gen groupings. And I don't think that makes up. A lot of people are saying 50%, not a chance in hell. They might be losing 25, maybe 30% off of that. Now add another 5 to 10% at least of people who are just tired of getting fucked and say no more. So their sales are going to be down in number. But like Blaze likes to say all the time, when they announce the gate at these big wrestling events for the WWE, that just means they charge more money. So they'll break even money-wise, maybe even make a little more than last time out, but only because they're charging more. And because there are people that are going to pay it for some reason. The draft edition to Universe, they mentioned the word sandbox. And if that is what I think it is, then I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. I'm so excited. Yeah, I guess in yours it would be a good thing. In mine, and I just want to skip that and just leave. Because I generally set the rosters up. I'm trying to think of it, because what I'm doing, if I was doing this game, which eventually I'm sure I will, especially with all these new things, I'm going to want to try it out eventually. I'm not going to get it at launch. I need to see a little bit more and It'll depend on how long I'm going to wait to get it at that point, how much money I'm going to save. That all said, like if I'm doing an NWA roster, for example, I don't see how that would work if I only have like a show. There's nothing else for it to mess with, so I don't know. And I'm sure you could turn it off. That's probably where I would end up going, is just turning it off altogether. Body morphing is coming back. Well, yeah, but I look, again, I am too. I just want to see what that really means. That's all. I want to see what it really means. A wise man once said, if it sounds too good to be true, grab the KY.
A major.
A major. And again, with the body morphing, I want to see it the way it used to be, where you could morph individual sections of the body, just the arms, just the chest, just the thighs, all that. I find it funny how the WWE is suddenly saying the Attitude Era was never too good. They are depending on it to make money. What do you mean it was never too good? Who said that? Punk's showcase won't sell copies. Look, I never bought the game for anybody's showcase, okay? And I don't think too many people really did. That was just one of the features of the game every year, and it's a question of which showcase is it. So I don't know that any extra or less sales would take place because of Punk's showcase. I do think more sales will happen if you did a Monday Night Wars. By the way, if they wanted to really confirm pre-orders, they could have signed Sting and made him the DLC pre-order. That would have melted the fucking internet. Mr. McCoy says, just give me a copy and paste tag team. Oh, yeah, buddy. I forgot to put that in my notes. If you don't know what he's talking about, oh, my God. You're in exhibition mode. You're on your main screen. You can make a tag team. Then you go into Universe. And you have to make that tag team all over again from scratch. You can't import it. What the fuck? Now, meantime, on that same screen, that main screen, you can create a wrestler from scratch. And automatically it's imported into Universe. You don't have to remake the character in there. Why can't you do that with tag team? And I've been saying that for years and years and years. It would be nice. I somehow just don't think that's going to happen either. But let's see. Let's see. Let's try. I'm reaching out halfway, buddy. Yeah. I'm trying to do it your way here. Be optimistic. I don't like this shit. This is not my natural self right now, and I'm not feeling comfortable about it. But I got a funny feeling I'm going to get to unload on these sons of bitches real soon, so I'm letting it build. When they get their money, 2K is going to say, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yeah, buddy. We know that. Doogie, how you doing, man? 2K is to video games what P. Diddy was to parties. Grab your oil and then pucker up. Baby oil for everyone with your 150. I might have to do another goof commercial. With your $150 edition comes with a bottle of Johnson & Johnson baby oil. Folders and custom images too. That would, maybe not even folders necessarily, although that would be great. I'd settle for alphabetizing, like if we could put names on them and then have them alphabetical, at least that would save time. Oh, I'm counting on you being covered in oil. I'm talking about the rest of us normal people. I know how you operate, you little freak. Infrared, my brother from another mother. How you doing, buddy? How's the cold weather treating you? By the way, Blaze, I know you're up in that Pittsburgh handle. This cold shit, how much damage did it do by you guys? Was it a real deal or was it overblown? Because I'm hearing different people saying different things that, it was just a regular winter storm. It was nothing. And then the news makes it seem like Armageddon took place. Infrared, I did a recap of the show from last night. It's all spoiler-filled, so if you don't want to know, then you don't want to check it out. But all in all, good show. Wish you could have been there. Would have been fun. Especially since the 3 people that were supposed to be going with me all backed out at the last minute, one at a time. Dustin, man. Don't count on Ultra Pro. That's all I got. I'm at the point now where I just don't think it's happening. We should have had more happening at this point in time. There should have been a demo coming out, or at least discussions of a demo date, because Sam had said a while back that in January there'd be a demo. And I'm just not seeing anything to make me believe that. Again, I want to be optimistic. I do, but I'm not. Well, they are actually saying, what is today? Friday? Tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken. We're looking at the potential of snow flurries in Central Florida. I will be out with my camera at 3 a.m. filming snow flurries if that shit is going to happen. Yeah, Virtual Basement, I give them a pass because that's like a one-man show. And that game ain't getting done anytime in the near future. It's just not. He's even stated that it's a hobby for him. It's not something that's a massive priority in his life. So don't be expecting that to ever happen. I don't think that game will ever see the light of day. UPW, on the other hand, actually had a little bit of a team. They did really good with the Kickstarter, better than anticipated, better than he wanted to do. And now add to that, they got this UK deal. But when I hear things like, that's going to save the game, that they got this, save the game for what? The man already had the money in his hands. What did he do with the money? And that's the thing that's got me concerned. So. You're going to get hit tomorrow, Primetime says. Okay. Well, be ready for that, man. Bundle up. One of my favorite promos, it was Eddie Kingston way, way back in some small promotion. And I didn't even know who Eddie Kingston was. This is my first introduction to Eddie. And he was in a face-to-face promo with some other dude. Couldn't tell you who it was anymore. But the other dude basically looked right at him in Kenny's eyes, and he says to him, "Dude, you're going to beat me. It'll be a cold day in hell." And without missing a beat, he just looked at him, Eddie did, and he's bundle up with that New York accent. Winter is indeed back. Yes, Killer Cross, spoiler, is the new MLW champion, and I'm happy for him. Well deserved. Miracles in the house. We've gone through pretty much all the news that is currently available for 2K26. So I'll let you rewind and you can catch up. But there's potential. That's where we're going to hold off right now, saying that there's potential. There's also a track record of failure, so that's why I can't do anything better than say there's potential. Virginia getting hammered with the snow. Infrared, I'm not saying they are. I'm just not saying they ain't. It kind of feels like something. So you're telling me there is a chance? Yes. More like 1 in a million. That was a great movie. Indeed. All right. Well, folks, that's what I've got so far. If anything really exciting comes along, we'll jump back on. Tomorrow's the Rumble, so obviously we'll see how that plays out. And I am sure that the event itself is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that very much. In the meantime, I remind you, find time every day to say the 2 magic words.
Okay! Game on! 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 Yeah, game on!
But the night's so wild, you're sitting here like a reckless child. Our keep was an electric fire, chasing scores higher, higher, higher.